Folks, in my 20 years in the league, 20 years of sitting in war rooms, scouring film, talking to insiders, and following every twist and turn of NFL roster moves, I've never seen anything like this. Something is happening right now, behind closed doors, that could reshape the entire landscape of the NFC, and I promise you this isn't just another rumor. This is big, unprecedented. A move so bold, so calculated, it could fracture the balance of power in the NFL's most competitive division. And trust me, what I'm about to reveal is just the tip of a colossal iceberg. But first, if you want access to the stories that no one else dares to uncover, if you want to be the first to decode these secrets as they unfold, then smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and activate the bell. Because what I'm about to share might be the biggest NFL story of 2026, and you don't want to miss a second. Now let's get into the gritty details, because what I'm about to tell you could send shockwaves through the league. The Detroit Lions, after years of rebuilding and strategic moves, are eyeing a trade that might seem impossible. Yet, if it happens, it will mark a turning point in NFL history. We're talking about no less than acquiring a player who's been the heart and soul of the Seattle Seahawks defense, a guy that every analyst and scout is calling the missing piece for Detroit's championship puzzle. And no, it's not just any linebacker, folks. It's Ernest Jones IV. But before I break down exactly why Jones is such an ideal fit and how this massive deal could finally come to fruition, let's revisit the current state of the Lions and ask, what do they truly need to push past their recent playoff misses? Why would they target a player like Jones? And most importantly, what secrets are hidden in the shadows, secrets that could be revealed in the coming days? Let's start with the Lions. Since Dan Campbell took over in 2021, Detroit has been on a wild ride. They've gone from being perennial underdogs to legitimate playoff contenders, reaching the NFC Championship just 2 seasons ago. But the 2025 campaign was a stark reminder of how thin the line is between success and mediocrity. Finishing 9-8 and missing the postseason for the first time in 3 years was a bitter pill, especially after the high-flying 15-2 record and top seed in 2024. You see, the Lions have built an offense that's dangerous. Jared Goff's resurgence, the emergence of Jahmyr Gibbs, and the depth they've cultivated on the offensive line. But defensively, that's where their Achilles heel lies. They've struggled against physically imposing teams, and their linebacker core, the soul of any stout defense, has shown cracks. Go back to game film from last season, when teams like the Chicago Bears and Minnesota Vikings have exploited Detroit's middle. It's because they lack a true sideline-to-sideline playmaker who can cover ground and make game-changing plays. Sure, Alex Anzalone has been solid, but his age and injury history mean the Lions need someone younger, faster, and more dynamic, someone who can instantly elevate their defense in crucial moments. Statistically, Detroit's run defense gave up big yardage last season, averaging over 140 rushing yards per game, and their third down efficiency fell sharply in the second half of games, especially against mobile quarterbacks and versatile tight ends. Enter Ernest Jones IV. The tape tells the story in vivid detail. Jones isn't just a linebacker, he's a game changer. Playing for the Seahawks, he's emerged as their defensive heartbeat, especially in the NFC Championship where he totaled 12 tackles, a forced fumble, and an interception that sealed the deal against the Rams. On film, what jumps out immediately is his explosive range. He's everywhere on the field. His instincts are undeniable. Look at his third down performances last season. He consistently drops into coverage, visually disrupting passing lanes. His 5 interceptions in 2025, including a pick-6, demonstrate a rare ability to read routes and anticipate throws. Advanced metrics like Pro Football Focus coverage grades rank him in the top 10 among linebackers league-wide, an elite indicator of his impact. But it's not just his coverage. Jones's run defense is outstanding. His 126 tackles last season, many of which came in critical short-yardage situations, show his nose for the ball. His ability to shed blocks and pursue sideline-to-sideline is reminiscent of a young Luke Kuechly, but with even more explosiveness. The Seahawks' defensive coordinator has repeatedly praised his football IQ, citing spontaneous playmaking as Jones's greatest asset. And let's not forget his leadership. At only 26, he's a vocal presence, a locker room leader, and an emotional spark plug, qualities Detroit desperately needs. Now here's where the story takes an intriguing turn. Jones's contract is a manageable 3-year, $33 million deal, which is highly attractive considering his elite production. The Seahawks front office is in a rebuilding phase, looking to acquire youth and draft capital, especially after their Super Bowl run. The Lions, on the other hand, are desperate to close the gap with NFC heavyweights. The puzzle pieces fit perfectly. They have the draft capital, the salary cap space, and the motivation to make a bold statement. The trade mechanics? They're complex but doable. Imagine this. Detroit offers a package of a 2026 second-round pick, a 2026 fifth-rounder, and a conditional future pick, perhaps a third-rounder if Jones hits certain performance metrics in 2026. The Seahawks get a proven veteran defender who can help them contend again, plus draft capital to rebuild around their young core, like cornerback Devin Witherspoon and linebacker Jordan Brooks. For the Lions, acquiring Jones instantly upgrades their defense, giving them a player who can negate the best offensive minds in the league, control the middle of the field, and accelerate a turnaround that's long overdue. How does this trade work financially? Well, due to Jones's deal, the Lions can absorb his salary with a combination of roster restructuring and cap maneuvers. They might restructure some existing contracts or convert part of their signing bonus to spread out the cap hit. In Seattle's case, they'd take some dead cap space but gain a high-impact player who fits their timeline, ready to lead them back to dominance. Why is this a win-win? The Seahawks get young, proven talent to build around, and the Lions get a linebacker who is already an established star, someone who can be the cornerstone of their defense for years to come. Moreover, this move signals to the league that Detroit is serious about winning now, not just rebuilding, making a bold statement to the entire NFC. But wait, it gets more complicated and more intriguing. Rumor has it that behind closed doors, multiple league sources confirm that Detroit's front office has been quietly exploring options for Jones since mid-2025. They've studied game tape, analyzed advanced stats, and even held preliminary talks with the Seahawks management. NFL insiders whisper that the Lions see Jones as the missing piece, a perfect blend of athleticism, intelligence, and leadership, someone who can transform their defense from good to elite almost overnight. And here's the kicker. The timing might be perfect. Seattle's Super Bowl window is closing. As talented as their roster is, they're also aware that aging stars and salary cap realities will force tough decisions soon. If they can move Jones now, they lock in value, gain draft capital, and start the rebuild. For Detroit, this isn't just about filling a positional need. It's about establishing a new identity, a defense that can dominate the league's best offenses for years to come. Now, what about the fallout? The league buzz is intense. Rivals are already whispering about how Jones's presence could make the Lions instant contenders. Sports media across the country are speculating, but the insiders who matter, those in the know, are quietly preparing for a seismic shift. This isn't just a rumor. It's a strategic chess move in the grand game of NFL power plays. In terms of projected impact, imagine Jones lining up next to Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston Jr., a trio that would terrorize quarterbacks and shut down rushing attacks. His versatility allows him to slot into multiple defensive schemes, covering tight ends, blitzing, or patrolling the middle in nickel packages. On the offensive side, the Lions' offensive-minded president, Brad Holmes, has signaled a willingness to reinforce the defense if it means a shot at a deep playoff run. And the best part? This isn't just wishful thinking. My sources close to the situation suggest that the Lions are preparing contingency plans, ready to make an aggressive move within the next few weeks. The league's trade deadline is looming, but the real fireworks could come even sooner, possibly before the draft. If these talks escalate, we're talking about a deal with the potential to be announced in the next 7-10 days, an absolutely game-changing moment. So what's my final take? From what I've gathered, this is a move born of necessity and vision, a decision to invest in the future while maximizing present-day talent. The Lions are betting on Jones's ability to change their fortunes, and the Seahawks are open to offers because they see this as a chance to jumpstart their rebuild. But here's the real truth. This trade could define the 2026 NFC playoff picture and redefine the NFL's power hierarchy. Stay locked in, folks. Because if this deal happens, it will send shockwaves across the league, shattering expectations and rewriting history. And I guarantee you the story is just beginning. There's more to uncover, more secrets waiting to be revealed, and I promise, as the pieces start falling into place, you won't want to miss a second. The NFL's biggest game of chess is underway. Are you ready for the next move? Because I am, and I'll be here to break every piece down as it unfolds.